What once started in an auction barn is now a thriving house of worship. Jim Matthews is the pastor of the Cape County Cowboy Church.
We're a cowboy church, and everybody that comes here sure isn't a cowboy and don't have to be one to come here. But basically what we are, we're a church that reaches a group of people that really love and long for more or less that cowboy way of life, even though some of them never owned a horse, never want to. But there's some basic things about that it's usually more of a rural type lifestyle. But we kind of targeted that group whenever we started this church back in '04 and trying to reach that segment of society. And so that's where we started from. And you know, we worship the same Jesus. We sing the great old hymns that have been around for forever, a lot of the new ones but we try to do each of those in a way that appeals to those. It's you know, most of our singing's more of a, let's say it sounds like they stepped out of a bar full of Jesus, more of a country band style. If you interview most of our people, they would typically listen to country western radio stations. So as we worship, as we sing, we try to do it in such a way as that. It's more that culture of people that we are and that we seek above others to reach, and do it in such a way that communicates with them. And we don't use a lot of church language and et cetera, and it's godly language, but it's not necessarily the religious language of praise the Lords and hallelujahs all along, and nothing wrong if somebody does that. Man, we love the cross, we love the fish symbols, we love pictures of Jesus, not a thing wrong with that. But one of the things we try to do, there's no statement that says, in all things spiritual be natural, and all things natural be spiritual. So sometimes we want to take some of the churchiness out of our facilities, especially to seek those that are non-believers, so when they walk in, they don't just get slapped in the face of religion that they're a little foreign to, not comfortable with yet, and especially the Christ of our faith. And so what we've chosen to do is we'll take a wonderful picture that they can relate to, that will draw them to something they're familiar with, and then underneath it we'll write something how we're to bear one another's burdens. And so it takes a natural event in their life and puts a spiritual twist to it that's subtle enough, but yet drives a message home from there. Of course, we started out in a barn, and we were all comfortable there. You didn't have to clean up to go. If your boots had mud and other kind of cow stuff on it, it really didn't matter. It served us well for 5 years, but just simply we outgrew it. And because of pure size sake, we had to leave it, and we've put together a building that will house us now. What we like about this location, first of all, it gives us room. Typically on a Sunday morning, we'll run somewhere between 1,100 and 1,200 people. And where we were before, we could seat 419 people if they were all skinny. We had to have 2 services, and so now we can all come, we can worship in one place. We've got, where we rented that, we were able to use it one night and a few hours on a Sunday morning. Here we use it day in and day out. A lot of different activities that we're able to do, whether it be Bible studies or other events that we're able to use it from that standpoint. Everybody was so comfortable with the old barn. I mean, they weren't threatened by it. We felt at home in it. And we wanted that same atmosphere as we came here. And so with that, we've, like in this room, this is old walnut, 22 years old, that's been sitting in a barn that we just put rough cut walnut up. Down below, as you saw, the worship centers, those are hand-hewed logs that we took out of old barns that we tore down and did that with a lot of stonework, the old chuck wagon that's there, all of that just to give that feel for the culture that we're used to. You know, for us, padded pews, nothing wrong with them, but for us, it's just, we're more comfortable like it is here. You know, carpeted floors, nothing wrong with them, but we love concrete. And like I said, we can just be at home like this. We've got a lot of young couples, a lot of youth, we've got a lot of senior saints. We just got a lot of people from every age bracket and from a lot of different walks of life. I mean, we've got factory workers and farmers, doctors and lawyers and teachers and judges, and the list goes on. And so it's a pretty good gamut, but there's usually a common thread amongst us. It's a love of this culture, but most importantly, it grows into a love for our Jesus.
Well, I like the Cowboy Church because I really like the music. My grandparents started inviting me to go here.
The greatest thing that we found is just, first of all, our God. You know, it's kind of interesting. The horse and the connection to the horse, or maybe the uniqueness of the title of our church, Cowboy Church, or that we met in an auction barn, many times that was kind of the hook that drew people in. But what we found out is they come the first time for maybe something like that that's a little unique or something that's a kinship. But what keeps them is the Spirit of God.